to have you joining us. And wherever you're joining us from, or whatever time of day or time of the week, it's great to have you with us today. So today we're going to do something just just a little bit different. Is Yeah, and this is a borderline of rant, just so you know ahead of time. Is I read a fascinating article, and I'm a big fan of the author David Brooks. He just always has a beautiful perspective on life. He's very balanced. He offers some good language actually around the Christian perspective as well. And and with David Brooks, he had an interesting article today, and the article today was called "Falling Apart at the Seams" that I read, and it was a fascinating article, and I think it has direct implications for churches and for those of us who want to live more and more into a Christian way of life. And I think you could fill in, any spiritual discipline actually into that would be the same, and the call would be the same. So here's the core of his argument. He felt and feels that that the United States, we just see the social fabric ripping, the social contract being strained. I mean, the whole idea of Martin Luther King, and I'll be preaching on it actually this Sunday, the whole idea of beloved community sounds almost trite these days. I mean, it is rough out there, and really rough out there in a way that is unique to many of our experiences. Many people have not experienced this level of anger and angstiness in the system. And it's shown in all kinds of different ways. Like he gave an example of how miles driven has dropped precipitously with COVID, down 13% in the US, but traffic fatalities are up 7%. And why is that? People are driving less, but more fatalities. And the thought is more people are driving inebriated, more people are aggressively driving, etc. We see all kinds of other statistics. Like one I think I'd mentioned in here before was one from the Surgeon General that said that for teenage girls between, I think it was, I'm not going to have this exactly accurate, between 2019 and 2021, the admits into ERs for suicidal ideation had increased 59%. I mean, just like crazy stuff. And we can see that almost in any of our older institutions, that people just less and less um, engage themselves with institutional things, and more, my two cents, engage themselves with their phones. And how, what do we do? Like what do we do about that? And I really do feel that's a huge part of our job, and a huge part of what Jesus is calling us to is to continue to remember these bonds of community. Um, that whole oneness prayer, where Jesus offers this prayer, may they be one as you and I are one. It's a beautiful Easter prayer. And it's this oneness, it's this unicity, it's this remembrance of the beloved community. And one of the tricky parts is, folks, and I say this, yeah, just in a light way, but also with some gravitas to it. It's so easy to like think of that unicity in that beloved community and think that somehow that equates to liking a Martin Luther King quote on that on Facebook. That's what creates the beloved community, is looking at that and going like, oh, isn't that great? It is important to acknowledge the greatness of those concepts and to talk about them. And as we all know, the most significant thing we can do is to lean into it. Like, what are we going to do to build the beloved community? Who are we going to reach out to do that? Where are we going to volunteer? Where do we find our lives more enriched? And how do we spend more time in those places and less time in the divisive places? Last night I actually had a hard time sleeping, thinking about some of these things and as they pertain to church world. And I got a really clear thought, hopefully from God, that God is bigger than all this. And I think that's true. And our job is to step up and into that bigness. Because down here, oh my goodness, when I went to my first NFL game, like, oh my goodness, the fans, that was something else, not humanity at its best. And I was thinking back to it. I was thinking, yeah, those fans are acting the exact same way. Again, like seeing people pour beer on each other, all that kind of crazy stuff. Those fans are acting in the exact same way we do online. It's the exact same. And that's the exact same way we work in our political systems. And, frankly, my little personal rant, probably shouldn't do this as a pastor. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I want to gather with people, and I want to gather groups of people who are interested in doing it differently, who are willing to raise their hand and say, we're going to do it differently, somehow, some way. And we have these wonderful online tools that we're able to do things like this morning. And I actually think things like this are a huge part of a beloved community and a huge part of creating a world that I think we would love for our kids to live into versus fear for our kids to live into. So that's my little rant for the day, folks. Again, the biblical quote there is Jesus' oneness prayer, and you can look that up in Gospel of John if you want to read the whole thing. It's very, very powerful. And and wishing you all the best. May you have a blessed weekend. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go through and we're going to do a little meditation, prayer, and a blessing. And then I'm going to give you a little pitch here at the end, and then we'll look at the comments. So with that, friends, let's all get a big breath. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I. Be still and know that. Be still and know. Be still and. Be still. Be. Our Father, who art in the heavens, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as in heaven, so upon the earth. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and bring you peace and bring you home. Amen. All right, friends. So before the little comments, just a quick little sales pitch. Sales pitch number one, Sunday morning, 10:30 a.m. We have a great service coming up honoring Martin Luther King Day weekend. We have Ms. Universe, not Miss Universe, but Ms. Universe will be joining us, and she is a wonderful person. She's going to be talking, at New Church Live on Sunday. Her name is Nikki. I'm privileged to do a wedding for her and her husband to be, and she has agreed to come in and talk about possibility with us. So I urge you to think about that, 10:30 a.m. on Sunday. And then later on in the evening at 8 p.m. that evening, we have a special one-off small group for couples called A Fresh Start for Your Marriage. Or if you're not married, you're just in relationship. Be glad to have you join us for part of that. That's 8 p.m. on Sunday. That'll be super fun. I'm co-leading that with Kathy and Rodney Johnson, who are dear friends down in the Maryland area. And then starting on Tuesday, this is invitation number 3, is we have a 3-part small group called A Fresh Start. And it's just looking at fresh start at a global level. You're welcome to join that with a partner. You're welcome to join it just by yourself. You're welcome to join it with friends or family, whoever. That'll be a super fun group. And that is being co-led with a congregant Trin from out in the Phoenix area. So we have these different groups co-led by people across the country with me. We certainly hope you can join us. That'll be a ton of fun. If you're interested, you can shoot me an email or leave a comment in the Facebook stream here. So with that, let's get to the Facebook stream and give a cheery hello to those who are joining us today, and want to give them all a big cheery hello here. All right, lots of comments today. All right, let's take a look at the comments. All right, Sherry writes, hello, have a good weekend, and same to you, Sherry. Lindy, great to see you. Thank you for those wonderful pictures. They definitely brought a big smile. Patty, good morning to you, and we have a big weekend ahead, don't we? Susan, great to see you. Yeah, and happy Friday to you and to everyone. Mandy, it is great to see you. And speaking of life feeling good, Mandy got their youngest baptized. We got a beautiful little thing in the backyard. Like, that's where we need to spend our time. That kind of good stuff. Marianne, love is our highest calling. Amen. Like, hey, love is our highest calling. And yeah, totally right, Marianne. You live that, and let's do that, right? Patricia, great to see your smiling face there and heart. Paige, thank you for the 2 Christmas gifts yesterday. I feel totally spoiled. Linda, God is bigger than all this mess. We need to remember to use our free will to create a wonderful, loving world. Every time we meditate, we could hold this incredible Mother Earth in that light. You know, I agree with you totally on that. Like, yeah, we can do stuff. I mean, that's one of the parts that's just like exciting and frustrating for me at the same time. Is I feel like we can do stuff. We can do stuff about this. And how do we get that message out there to people? That's always the big question. Um, Patty writes, the heart feels it all. That's a beautiful way to say that, Patty. I love that. Give love and receive it. George is watching us from Africa. So, George, hello to you, my friend. Martha writes, good morning, and good morning to you there, Martha, as well. And Patty writes, just be kind. And it's true. There's this beautiful quote from Christian New Church Theology. Beautiful quote. Like, listen to this, folks. What else is a life of worship but a life of kindness? Oh, there you go. There you go. All right, friends. Well, wishing you guys all the very best. God bless. Have a great weekend, and we will see you on Monday. Take care. I'll ring the bell. I'll ring us out. All right. Take care, friends. We'll see you. Bye-bye.